So today we'll be discussing about triple integrals in spherical polar coordinates. Suppose you are given to be in this system of Cartesian coordinates. Say you are given to be in x, y, z. So you are moving from this coordinate system to the coordinate system r, theta and phi, right? So this is the Cartesian system and this is the corresponding spherical polar coordinate system. So when you move from this coordinate system to this coordinate system, what would happen to the triple integral defined like this, defined over the how will this change? So this is what we have to see. So according to what we know, here the function would change and the values of our x, y, z would be now in terms of r, theta and phi, and here would be the Jacobian, and here we will have dr, d theta and d phi, and the limits would also change accordingly. So this is how you change into spherical polar coordinates. So first of all, you should know exactly what is the relationship between the Cartesian coordinates and the spherical polar coordinates. So let us have a look at this relationship. Suppose let me draw the Cartesian coordinates. Say this is the z-axis, this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, and we have origin here, and suppose we are given some sphere over here. Now on this particular sphere, this is three-dimensional, okay? So on this sphere, particular sphere, suppose we are given some point here P. So this is our point which have coordinate x, y, z in the Cartesian space. So now how can you define this r, theta and phi? That is the first question. So your r would be the distance of this point from the origin. So that is the distance r, and whatever is the angle that this r makes with z-axis, that is termed as the angle theta. And whatever, now what you do, you take the projection of this point P onto the xy plane. So what will you do? You will draw a perpendicular line from this point onto the xy plane. So say this is the projection. Let me call this by M. So now if you join this point M with the origin, now this would be the right angle triangle. If this angle is theta, so this angle would also be theta, because this line and this line, they are parallel to each other, and this is the alternate angle. Now according to trigonometry, this hypotenuse is r. So what is the length OM? The length OM, that would be r sine theta. This length would be r sine theta because this OM would act as perpendicular here and r is the hypotenuse. So we got this line, the distance as r sine theta. Now here we wanted to calculate what is the value of x, y and z in terms of r, theta and phi. Okay, so let me first define what is phi. Phi is the angle made by this line OM with the corresponding x-axis. So this angle is your angle phi. So now you have this angle theta, angle phi, and the distance, this one, as r. Now what you have to do, you have to obtain the values of z, as well as x and y. Now what is the value z? The value z is the distance of this particular point from this origin in the z direction. So whatever is this distance, actually this is the value of z. And what is this MP? Your MP here is equal to, again using the same triangle and the same angle, your MP is equal to r cos of theta. So that means this MP is nothing but the value of z, because this distance is equal to this particular distance, right? So this is the value of z. So you have z as r cos of theta, And what is the value of x and y? For that we will consider another triangle. So for considering another triangle, what we can do, we can join this m onto the x and y both axes, right? So when you join this by the y axis, so you will have something like this, and when you join this by the x axis, so you will have something like this. Now according to this, if this is your angle phi and this distance, you already know what is this distance. This is r sine of theta. So accordingly you can calculate, because this is 90 degree, so you can calculate this distance. Say this point is B, so you can calculate what is BM. So here your BM, that would simply be, you know, the hypotenuse. So BM, that is the y distance, that is equal to r of sine theta, into r of sine theta. This is the hypotenuse, and because we are calculating this, which is the perpendicular, so this is going to be equal to sine of phi. And what is this distance? This distance is exactly this distance. So this is our y coordinate. So we have y coordinate as r sine theta sine phi. And now talking about x, what is the x distance? This distance is x distance. So this is equal to the base divided by hypotenuse, which is equal to cos of phi here. So accordingly, your the distance OB, that would be going to r sine theta cos phi. So this OB is nothing but your x coordinate. So we have r sine theta cos phi. So this is the relationship that defines the Cartesian coordinates with the spherical polar coordinates. Now you know what is the relationship. For completing this whole square, what should be the limits here? The limits should be that r is always greater than 0. This is one thing, because we are always taking the direction outward from this origin, so r is always positive, and the angle theta that lies between 0 to pi, that means whenever you are taking this distance 0 to pi of this theta, so what do you mean by that? Say this is the point, this is the angle theta. When you are taking the distance from 0 to pi, that means you are shifting from here to here. So you are basically covering a semicircular area, right? And when you rotate the semicircular area into this particular direction, right, so you will get a complete sphere. So this direction is given by this phi. So accordingly, your phi would be covering this whole revolution. That means it is moving from the angle 0 to 2 pi. So these are the limits corresponding to this transformation. Now we have obtained these limits. We have this relationship. So instead of x, we can write here this value. Instead of y, we can write this value, and instead of z, we can write this value. But what is this Jacobian? So let us calculate the Jacobian in this case. The Jacobian would be equal to the partial derivative. So what is it actually? It is the relationship defining the partial differentiation of x, y, z with respect to r, theta and phi. So this is what we are looking at. So we have del x by del r, del x by del theta, and del x by del phi, and then del y by del r, del y by del theta, and then del y by del phi. And then we have del z by del r, del z by del theta, and then del z by del phi. So this is the formula. So here we know the relationships. So we can calculate the partial derivatives. It is simple. So accordingly, we have the derivatives as sine theta cos phi, and then r cos theta cos phi, and then we have minus r sine theta sine phi. Then for the y, we have sine theta sine phi, and then we have r cos theta sine phi, and then we have r sine theta cos phi. And the next term is cos of theta, and then we have minus r sine theta, and then we have 0. Now we can calculate the determinant. This determinant would be equal to, when you simplify this, you can take r square sine theta common, right? How? If you see, you can take this r common from this column and r common from this column, so you have r square, and you can also take the sine theta common from here, so you have sine theta. So you are left with the quantities sine theta cos phi, sine theta sine phi, and cos theta, and then cos theta cos phi, and then cos theta sine phi, and then minus sine theta, and here you will have minus sine phi, and then cos phi and 0. So when you solve this determinant, your final answer would simply be equal to r square sine theta. So this is after all the calculations. So therefore, your triple integral in this case become equal to this integral f of xyz taken over dx dy dz is now equal to the triple integral over the same region of the function. Instead of x, you will write r sine theta cos phi. Instead of y, you will write r sine theta sine phi, and instead of z, you will write r cos theta. So this is from these operations that we have defined. So these relationships between r, theta and phi. So we have just substituted their values, and instead of the value of Jacobian, we have this the value of Jacobian as this r square sine theta. So we have this r square sine theta over here. So this is equal to r square sine theta. This is the value of Jacobian, and then we will have the values as dr, d theta, d phi. So this is the relationship between the spherical polar coordinates, triple integral in Cartesian coordinates and spherical polar coordinates.